Hello everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. Well, you see that we have a guest with us today. This is Abigail, and Abigail and I work together at the Center for Creative Leadership in Greensboro.
Yes, we do.
And I'm excited to have her. Not only is she an amazing cook, but everyone at the center also knows her for her baking. And so I was asking her if she wanted to bake a cake, and she says, well, I'm not sure how healthy it'll be, but I'm so glad you're able to
gotta stay healthy.
I know. Oh, I know. So Abigail, tell us a little bit about what we're cooking today.
Okay, so what we're cooking today is a concoction that I put together. And I borrowed the name from a French recipe called duck à l'orange, but this is my chicken à l'orange, a healthier version of that.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So what do we do to get started?
Well,
Or do you want to talk about some of the ingredients I'm going to start with?
Let's talk about the ingredients so that everybody will know what we're going to be putting together.
Okay.
And then, of course, when we put it together, they'll have a better sense of what they're supposed to do.
Okay, that's good.
This is an easy recipe. If you are not a chef, you don't have to be a chef to produce something that is absolutely delicious. It's all about paying attention to the ingredients.
Wonderful. And I'm going to get the stove started so we can have the heat going. So.
Okay. All right. So whilst the heat is going there and Chef Shelley's got that going for us, I'm going to go through what we're going to use. We have here some chicken breast. As we go along, I'm going to give you options. If you like bones like I do, you can always use chicken thigh or chicken leg. But today we're going to use chicken breast.
Okay.
Then we have a series of spices, which is what really makes the chicken stand out. We have garlic, of course, both fresh and powdered garlic. We have a teaspoon of fresh minced garlic here. We have some salt and pepper. And if you are wanting to be fancy or up your game a little bit, you can get this peppercorn medley grinder, and that gives you 3 different kinds of pepper, and it gives you all the nuances of the flavors that makes you appear like a gourmet cook.
Very nice. And it looks like that's by McCormick, that one there.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Very nice.
All right, and also we have olive oil. Olive oil, very healthy for you. We'll be using about 4 tablespoons of that, and that is the only fat that is in the recipe.
Okay, and that's a good fat, and that we've already put in the pan.
Yes, so that's warming up.
That's warming up there.
That's warming up.
Okay.
All right, we also have 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Just 2 teaspoons. It's not going to be overly sweet, but it'll be sweet enough just to make it delicious.
Okay.
And then we have the zest of 1 orange. And let me see your zester.
Sure.
Okay. And this is a zester. I prefer to use it like this, rather the right way. And where did you say you purchased this zester?
So you can get this one I believe I got at Bed Bath & Beyond. You can get it online, Amazon. You can purchase it there. I actually will include a link in the comment section if you're interested in getting it, and they'll take them right there to it. But yeah, most stores have them.
Okay. So we also have onions, and I love onions. So in this particular case, 2 onions. 1 which we're going to saute. And
okay, I'll get started on that.
With that. Yeah. And so whilst Shelley is sauteing that, we also have frozen orange juice. And we're going to use about half a container of frozen orange juice. And of course, we're going to use some cream of celery. Again, a lot of times people use cream of mushroom. I like the cream of celery because, again, it gives you a distinct taste. Julia Child used to call it a je ne sais quoi taste.
Oh.
Not quite sure what it is, but it's delicious. And so that's why we use celery and not mushroom.
Okay.
And finally, we have the zest that I told you about, and it's all ready to go. And once the onions are fried down just a little bit, not too much, we're going to add the zest and the garlic.
Okay.
And in order to prepare the chicken, what we're going to do is layer it. We're going to layer it by putting garlic powder on it and then setting it aside. So we're going to shake some garlic powder onto the chicken. because we want the flavor of the garlic to go all the way through the chicken. Make sure. And of course, if you like garlic, you can be a little heavy-handed. If you don't like garlic, you'd be a little bit light. Okay, mix that all up. And we are going to set that aside.
So how well do you want these cooked? How's that looking?
Just a little translucent, a little bit more,
All right.
because the more that you cook the onions slowly, the more the flavor of the onions are released.
Nice.
If you are cooking the onions too quickly, you'll find that when you have finished your dish tastes flat. And that's because you've cooked it too quickly.
Okay, that's a good rule of thumb. And then cooking it down low. I have it like on about 5.
Okay.
5 out of 10.
Okay. All right, so you can actually add the garlic now.
Okay. Add that garlic. And we'll show you what this looks like once it gets all sauteed. Stir it up. So, how long have you been cooking this particular dish?
Actually, not very long, because I developed it specifically for my my visit to your show.
Oh,
Yes.
how nice.
But it took about 3 or 4 different iterations, plus tasting with friends, till I got the recipe just right.
Very nice. All right, how's that looking?
That is looking
good?
wonderful.
Okay. Am I ready for the zest?
You're ready for the zest.
Okay, can put
Right,
that in
here's the
there.
zest.
All right, very nice.
Okay.
And then how long do you saute it with the zest?
Until the zest is limp.
Okay, and what does limp mean? Because I'm going to show them,
limp,
but what does limp mean?
Limp means that it's soft to the touch, and that when you press it with the spoon, it'll break apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
So
I can
again,
do.
what you're trying to do is to release the flavor from the zest.
Okay, how is this looking?
Probably about another second or 2.
Okay. It smells so delicious.
It does
Oh, you
smell.
smell the orange?
Oh, and,
flavor
and by the way, there are all kinds of variations to the theme. You could always add bay leaves to these if you like bay leaves. You can always add Italian spices to this if you feel creative. Cooking is both a science and an art. And exploring with different spices is what really differentiates your cooking from people who just kind of slap things together.
All right.
Okay, that looks
good.
excellent.
Okay,
Excellent.
all right. What else are we going to add to this?
Okay, so to this we're going to add the container
Okay,
of the orange juice, of the
Okay.
frozen orange juice.
okay,
Because you're going to use a frozen orange juice here because we're looking for concentration.
okay. Nice.
And the concentration gives us the intensity of the flavor.
Okay.
All right?
Are we adding, okay.
Yeah.
Are we adding anything else before
Yeah.
it goes on the oven, or you want me to put it back?
Yes, we are. No,
Okay.
that's fine. We're also going to add our 2 teaspoons of brown sugar.
Okay.
And we are going to add a whole can of cream of celery soup. And of course, I mentioned to you why I'm using the celery, because it gives it that je ne sais quoi flavor.
Yeah, because I would say that most people probably use the cream of mushroom,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
But this is something
This
extra.
will give it something
Okay.
a little unusual.
All right, so let's put that over here. Let's
Mm-hmm.
get this warmed up again. And
All right, and whilst that is warming up, I'm going to, again, you can use your regular black pepper, is just fine, but I'm going to up my game a little bit and use this medley pepper.
very nice. Okay. You can see the pepper. So it's like a little hot in there, probably spicy as well.
Well, this is more spicy than hot.
Okay.
And it's interesting that you should mention hot, because if you want it to have a little kick, all you have to use is half a habanero. Chop that up very finely and throw that in at the same time that you're frying the onions.
Oh, nice. All right, and we're going to show this to you all here.
There we
All
go.
right. So, So why don't we get a shot of this? I'm going to bring this over here and see if we can get a good picture of this. So here is kind of that creamy, oh, it just looks so delicious. You can see the texture here is really, really nice.
And to that, we're actually going to add a little more texture. So if you go back over here, what we're going to do is add some chopped onions that have not been cooked.
Okay.
Now, this is an interesting technique because the sautéing of the onions releases flavor. The unsautéed onions releases flavor and texture.
Nice. Okay. Very nice. Okay. And do you want me to put this back on the stove?
No.
Okay, we're good.
It's
just
fine.
mix
We
it.
are good to go.
Okay. Very nice. And I'll show this again once I get it mixed nicely so they can get a sense for what it looks like. Ooh, this looks so good. All right. So hopefully you can take a look at that and see again the texture. Very nice. Very nice. All right.
All right. So what we want to do is, based on my research, I found out that it's best to put the sauce first to prevent any burning.
Okay.
And so
Get another spoon here for dipping. How about that? Okay. And I'll let you do that because you know how much should be dipped. Okay. So this is, when we say simple, my gosh, such a simple dish to make here. And the next thing is we're putting it in the crock pot. How long are we going to actually leave it in the crock pot?
for about 4 hours.
About 4 hours. Okay. All right. Way to go.
All right. So we're going to do a quick scoop at the bottom of the crock pot.
Okay.
Even that out at the bottom of the crock pot.
Okay.
Then what you're going to do is cut your chicken so it's about this thick. You don't want it so thick that the flavor is not going to seep into the center. So you want the chicken about this thick.
And those are actually just 2 large breasts that we've cut up in kind of these chunks. So you don't need much, and so then you just layer it. Very nice.
You just layer
like the lasagna you said,
almost
right?
like a lasagna. Yeah.
Nice.
You layer it.
Okay.
And if you have a little extra sauce, there's no problem with that because trust me, after the chicken is gone, you're going to be looking for some bread to dip the sauce in. So there's no wasted sauce.
And then typically, Abigail, I know that you you have brought with you some rice cauliflower, which is always a healthier option than using rice.
Yes.
But I guess if you wanted to use rice, you could use brown rice.
You could use brown rice. You can use quinoa. You can use any carbohydrate-based food to go along with this.
Very nice.
Now, if you are on the keto side, like I am, you can use turnip greens, collard greens, kale. Any dark green vegetable would look very pretty next to this orange color, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
so
take that.
everything's in here. Sorry.
Got it. That's okay. Put that there.
All right.
All right, so I think we're ready. Let's get the lid here, and we'll turn it on high, high for 4 hours, and we'll come back once it's done. Can't wait.
I can't either.
I know. Oh my gosh, this looks and smells heavenly. Yes, yes. So you've got some cauliflower rice here. This is so pretty. I mean, presentation is everything, right?
Everything.
So how did you do this little trick with the cauliflower?
So it's easy and it looks great.
Yes.
So you get a small container like this, and you fill it with the rice cauliflower. You can also do this with rice, but if you are carbo sensitive, stick with the cauliflower. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to pack it down.
Okay.
All right. And once you pack it down, then you're going to turn it over onto your plate and tap, and there you go.
Nice. So awesome.
Right.
Okay, here, I'll get this out the way. All right. So now,
like I mentioned, you can use turnip greens, collard greens, kale to give it a little color, or carrots. If you want a range of color, you can arrange them around here.
Okay.
And then here we go.
All right.
Now, one thing you'll notice is that this is not a thick sauce.
Yeah.
We would had to use more flour in order to get a thick sauce, which is not as healthy for you.
Yeah.
So a great
this is good.
flavored gravy, but not too thick. So here we are with the chicken. Remember I mentioned that you should slice it not too thick.
And here I am.
Here we are. And what you might want to do also is put the gravy on top of the cauliflower.
Yes. Now that's interesting because I actually thought you were going to put this on top of the cauliflower. Totally.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. And I can see how, adding the vegetables, is good. But I was definitely going to tell you, put some of that gravy on my cauliflower.
Yes, here we go.
Okay. So let's give it a taste. We're going to do a little bit of cauliflower with the chicken breast. Can't wait, can't wait. Let's try.
Heaven on earth, right?
This is so good. I can taste the celery barely.
Yes.
But I thought it was going to be really sweet with the orange juice. It's not. I mean, it's like the perfect little mixture. I need to take a second taste. This is divine.
Wonderful.
This is divine.
Wonderful. And so easy to make. Anybody can make this, really.
Anyone can make this, and so delicious. Good party dish to make.
Yes, very good party food.
And one of the things that Abigail had asked me about, because she knows that I like having leftovers, I can see even freezing this.
Absolutely. This would freeze perfectly because actually frozen, the spices get more intense.
Exactly. And that brings up a good point, because some people say, oh, I don't like leftovers. I love leftovers for that very reason.
This is a leftover kind of dish.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Well, guess what, guys? We've got to go because we need to eat. I need to get into this so I can have my full portion. Thank you so much.
Are so
We've been
welcome.
planning this for a couple of months.
Yes, we have.
And so here we are.
Thank you
just
very much.
A delight, a delight. This is a beautiful woman inside and out. I aspire in so many ways to be like her. She's just an awesome person.
Thank you so much.
Love you. Thanks, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Check the comment section where you'll find some of the items that we talked about, as well as the actual ingredients. So take care. Bye-bye.